the unseen zones, not seen in between those without flesh or bone. Roam in the void, they avoid all detection. Interdimensional beings all connected. Angels and demons from spiritual realms, engaged in a battle from heaven to hell. They dwell all around us and even inside some of those that invite what they call spirit guides. Enticed by Ouija boards, they seek guidance and think there's a secret to be enlightened. Little do they know what they just invited. A demonic presence has just resided. In the days of Noah, all kinds of hybrids infiltrated the earth, but most were silenced, wiped out by the flood. All these tyrants, bloodlines polluted by these ancient giants. The men of renown, heroes of old, have now returned, let the truth be told. They wear new disguises, Thoth and Isis are now aliens come to invite us and guide us. The fruit is ripened, it's so inviting, evolved to a god enlightened. And don't be frightened, but I must ask why their ideas seem aligned with Lucifer's lies. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything stalking and prey with original sin. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything stalking and prey with original sin. Is it coincidence that all these incidents represent all the same thing the servant said? Look in Genesis chapter 3 verse 6, it depicts exactly the same conflict. Yo, this trick inflicted by the sick and wicked, invented, presented like a light transcendent, but it's dark, demented, it just pretended. Depending on beliefs, what you just expected. See how a rose has thorns and thistles? They hide among the truth to avoid the signal. They muddy the water with disinformation, persuading so many without a foundation. Some people like to listen to Ike and Sitchin, Jordan, Maxwell, and Tessarian. It seems these people are on the same mission. Deny what's Christian, seek secret wisdom. Tied to the lies in the movie zeitgeist, lost and deny the existence of Christ. I defy you to find any truth to the logic. Go ahead, just rewind it and pause it. Study their sources, they're all Masonic. Elite Illuminati seem to be behind it. They know the public will buy any fraud that tries to deny the existence of God. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything stalking and prey with original sin. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything stalking and prey with original sin.
Woo! Woo! If you're one of the 3 most awesome people that was listening to that with me, then congratulations for hearing yet another great song that you probably haven't heard before. Maybe some of you have, but anyway, I have some stuff to talk at you guys about. First, I need to get rid of this image and put up my, there it is. Yes, look, I only have one more spot, and I've only had one spot left for like 2 days now. So who wants one $8 spot? $8 won't hurt you. It'll help you. It brings you silver and a proof coin set that's collectible from 1980. So it's only $8. I know you can't use PayPal anymore. And everybody wants to, not everybody, a lot of people want to complain about Cash App, which I don't understand because PayPal is certainly worse than Cash App. So I'm not really sure I understand like the problem there, but whatever. You can just send like a snail mail. I'll even put my address, P.O. Box 22. Yeah, good for you, Tim Woot, for buying that album because yeah, it is worth it. Oh, thanks, Jared. So that's Jared. That's going to take that. P.O. Box 29 Billings, Montana. But I'll still put my address in because you don't have to use Cash App. You don't have to use PayPal. You can use my address. Like, it's okay. You can send cash or a check. And it's like still money to me, right? Before, you guys had Cash App and PayPal and the ability to pay through these things. And you're willing to click the I accept on PayPal, but get a little flustered when you got to accept the I accept thing on Cash App. So I get it. That's fine. But the only other way to pay is to send money. So I did pin up. I pinned the address up there. The other thing is This one, it's a collectible MS-70 coin. No, MS-69. My bad. MS-69 coin. Thank you, Jared. That is in very good condition and in cased up and sealed and vacuum sealed and given an identification number for $10 a spot. And there's only 5 more of that one left, so that one's going pretty well. So if anybody wants any of those, same thing. You got to use Cash App or send me some cash. I don't care. You can send cash. It's fine. All right. So fun news for today. The coronavirus could preview what will happen when alien life reaches Earth. So aren't you guys excited that we get to treat the coronavirus as what we should do when aliens come, which is panic and buy a bunch of toilet paper and hand sanitizer and forget that you can use soap, I guess. Let's see what they've got to say. You know what? Maybe we ought to reconsider this whole thing about looking for life on other worlds. It would be nice to find it, of course. I'm not sure I agree. But that doesn't mean we could handle it biologically, epidemiologically, and most importantly, emotionally. Well, they said most important. Emotionally. We are currently in the midst of a global near panic over what, in some respects, is its own alien, or at least previously unknown life form. Wait, I thought the coronavirus was the common cold. The SARS-CoV-2 virus, which causes the disease known as COVID-19. As of this writing, there have been close to 90,000 confirmed cases around the world in 68 countries, leading to more than 3,000 deaths. Flights have been grounded, international business conventions canceled, the Tokyo Olympics are threatened, and a global recession looms. Oh, because, these guys are telling us it is. Time magazine, by the way. Totally trustworthy source. Okay. Last week in the U.S., the Dow Jones Industrial Average had its worst week ever since the recession of 2008 and 9, shedding a third of its gains since the 2016 election, most of that due to fears of the impact of COVID-19. Humanity as a whole is suffering the effects of this disease, but the Chinese are taking a particular kind of heat. Yeah, they're like being murdered. The virus emerged in Wuhan, China, and around the world, an ugly kind of pitchforks and torches behavior has surfaced. Oh yeah, we're out there with our pitchforks and torches. I don't know about you guys, but I have mine waiting in the mudroom. I hope you have yours. That's part of this preparation. An Asian American 16-year-old was assaulted at a California high school and accused of carrying the virus. Whoa! In South Korea, latent anti-Chinese sentiment has surfaced, with shops reportedly posting signs reading "No Chinese." I think, yeah, because they're the ones that started this virus. In Vancouver, a Chinese boy on a school playground was taunted with cries of, "Yo, virus boy, don't infect us." Yeah, this is terrible. The horror of this news has just got me all worked up. I'm glad that Doc Michael has his pitchfork, because you got to have torches too, though. So if you don't have one, get that. In a story in Arizona's Cronkite News, which obviously is probably good news as well, affiliated with the local public broadcasting system, Wei Li, a professor of Asian Pacific American Studies at this school, has a history of this kind of bias. It was happening during SARS, and people racialized Asian Americans, and during Ebola with Africans and African Americans. People lump an entire group and blame them for contaminating our nation and people. I don't know about you guys, but I don't remember thinking that Asians had SARS just because they were around, nor do I remember being afraid of Ebola around black people. Just don't remember doing that, but I could be forgetting, that Mandela effect. COVID-19 is let's get back to the alien stuff. It's an entirely terrestrial problem, one that has not a lick to do with space, because, space is fake. And yet consider that even as the virus rages, NASA is poised to launch a new rover to Mars, because why not? Why don't we just pour our money into that? To gather up rock and soil samples, which will be brought back to Earth from really probably New Mexico, potentially containing, the black goo? Microbial life on a later mission. So how do you think that's going to work out? Well, I don't know, Time magazine, tell me. On the one hand, there is almost no likelihood of any risk of contagion. Are we doing best case, worst case scenario here? As a column in space.com pointed out last week, NASA has a long history of working to protect the Earth from biohazards from other planets. Is this really something that we put our money into for NASA? The space agency even has an entire division dedicated to that goal, formerly known as the Office of Safety and Mission Assurance, OSMA. There's got to be something behind that. But more commonly and descriptively known as the Planetary Protection Office. We are the Planetary Protection Office. We're going to save you from the planets. I like the... Hey, Brooke. I can't listen because I'm at a conference. Oh, that's okay. As long as you have your torch and your pitchfork, you're part of us. Okay. As Ozma puts it, its mission is to carefully control forward contamination of other worlds by organisms and organic materials carried by spacecraft, predictive programming, and to rigorously preclude backward contamination of Earth by extraterrestrial life. If you have any question about these statements, this mission statement, if you have any questions about which of those mission statements is the more important one, just consider the difference between a promise to carefully control something and to rigorously preclude it. NASA's most extensive, I can't scroll. NASA's most extensive experience with the risk of backward contamination was during the Apollo era, when both lunar samples and humans who had been on the moon came back to Earth. For the first 3 landings, allegedly, no sooner had the crewmen opened their hatch after splashdown than frogmen handed them biohazard suits to wear for their trip back to the naval recovery ship. Oh, that's racist. From there, they were flown to Houston, where they were kept in 3 weeks of isolation, and the crews were, as might be expected, after having visited an airless, waterless world, carrying no lunar pathogens at all, because they didn't go to the moon, right? And they probably didn't sit in quarantine for 3 weeks. And then they didn't do that procedure anymore for the last 3 alleged lunar missions. Mars will be very different, though, because Mars is a virulent atmosphere with crazy demons all over the place. I'm adding that part. It was once awash with water. Might have once been fairly churning with life, too, and maybe still has these lingering little aliens on it. So, there you go. That's the end of that. If that's the case, not only have we found Martians, we are Martians. We are Martians, but any relationship between current earthly and Martian life could increase the risk that Martian microbes find us hospitable hosts. This is racist against Mars. This is racist against Martians. It goes on and on and on. The search for life on other worlds is a manifestation of our consuming interest in other living things, and in some ways our love of other living things, okay, except for babies. The battle against SARS-CoV-2 is a mark of the unified face we can show when one of those living things threatens us all, a collectivism that is among our highest qualities. The racializing and the othering directed at people of Chinese descent is a mark of one of our lowest. This article is not very well written. Anyway, so prepare for aliens with coronavirus. Don't be racist against Martians and, against anyone going to the moon. I just think that's racist that they put them in a quarantine for 3 weeks. Moving on. New Zealand pastor blames coronavirus on airborne demons controlled by Satan. In New Zealand, Destiny Church pastor Brian Tamaki recently offered an explanation of coronavirus that has no basis in reality and a solution that has no basis in science, because science! He delivered a sermon on Sunday in which he blamed the virus on airborne demons before claiming that accepting Jesus was the best way to inoculate yourself against it. And the science is still out on that one. Well, you guys, guess what? I'm so excited. That's why I called this the armor of God, because you can pray the full armor of God over yourself. You can pray against these, man-made demonic viruses. I completely, wholeheartedly agree with this guy. Oh, it's a garbage truck outside. It's nice out. I opened the windows today. You can pray against this, but he's interpreting in Ephesians 2:2. He's not reading it. He's interpreting, which refers to the prince of the power of the air, when Tamaki said some evil spirits invaded human bodies. Satanic spirits control invisibility on a certain level where they can energize. He also suggests some born-again Christians could have special protection from the deadly disease. Satan has control of atmospheres unless you're born again, Jesus-loving, Bible-believing, Holy Ghost-filled, tithe-paying believer. I wonder if he said that, but anyway. Well, that's convincing, this person says. Amazing how you can fully believe in the divinity of Christ, but if you're not giving enough money to Tamaki's church, Jesus would let you just... That's what they're going to hold on to anyway. Tamaki is, of course, infamous for his anti-science. Oh, don't tell me he's against science. Science is truth. his anti-science prosperity gospel preaching. I don't like prosperity gospel stuff, so, I'm not okay with that either. However, he's very correct that this is demonic, and he's very correct that we can protect ourselves from it. Now, I'm not going to say you're protected because you're born again. You have to pray for protection. You can't just go, I'm good. I said the born-again sinner's prayer, and when I was 8 years old or 10 years old or last year, then I don't ever have to pray against these things because God just naturally protects me. So that's not how it's done. You got to still pray the full armor from Ephesians 6:10-20. It's included in that passage, that way there, 10-20. But if you don't pray against it, you can't just expect to be, protected. So I'd say you could be, though. You could be protected. He's right about it being demonic, and I agree with him. I wanted to look at this article because this says cryptocurrency ranks second riskiest scam in 2019. As part of the Nation Consumer Protection Week, the Better Business Bureau is reporting the top 10 scams in their annual risk report. And the second year in a row, the number one riskiest scam was employment scams, and obviously number two is cryptocurrency, even though it just emerged as a problem on the scam tracker 2 years ago. That's a big surprise. This is the third year for the scam tracker report, and cryptocurrency jumped from a small subset of investment scams to the number two riskiest scam spot among scams reported to the Better Business Bureau in 2019. I'm mentioning this, you guys, because I want us to have freedom in currency and money, but I don't want you to buy. Oh, did you guys notice my Bag of Country shirt, by the way? I have to mention that. I don't want you to buy into something that's, one, risky, because you don't know who to buy it from, and I couldn't tell you because I'm not a crypto person. There are crypto people out there that you could probably trust, but I also have concerns with how much energy it uses. It has been hacked. It's not totally safe. It's a lot safer than most other ways. Yes, it's decentralized for now, but as we see, China is burning up all their dollars, and they're going to digital cryptocurrency, and the amount of energy it takes just to keep it going. But I just don't think it's a good idea, because if we were to have like an internet crash, or we wouldn't have satellite internet and all our stuff had to be utilized via the internet, what are you going to do? You don't have any cryptocurrency. It's not physical. So it's another push for gold and silver, which is why you guys should be getting in on this raffle, because you could have silver in your hands and you'll be far more wealthy than 97% of America, and that's how I can get it into your hands. So I'm recommending that. Consider buying a spot. Enough about the cryptocurrency. This is kind of fun. This surgeon is giving his patients VR instead of sedatives. Anna Maria has never been to Machu Picchu. Okay? The 61-year-old always wanted to visit the mountain ruins, but she suffers from hypertension, and doctors warn that the extreme altitude could cause her blood pressure to rise dangerously high. Today, she's dressed in a white gown and a hairnet, and she will explore its ancient walls and pyramids for the first time, I'm guessing via VR. She's in a private medical clinic in Mexico City and laughs nervously as she's wheeled into a windowless operating room. Don't know why it's got to be windowless. I guess they're just really pointing out that she's not physically going to Machu Picchu. The surgeon takes out a Sharpie, draws a circle on her thigh, paints several layers of iodine, and injects local anesthetic into the skin. Inside the circle is a fatty lipoma, 6 centimeters across, which he's going to remove. She'll be awake for the operation. She's scared. As the surgeon readies his scalpel, her blood pressure is 183/93, even higher than usual. Patients undergoing procedures like this often have to be sedated to cope with pain and anxiety of being under the knife, but not today. Instead, this guy who is supervising the operation fits a sleek black headset over Anna's eyes and adjusts the straps. I'm so glad he adjusts the straps. What if he hadn't adjusted the straps? If he hadn't adjusted the straps, then it would have never worked. And I would be sitting here biting my fingernails wondering what's going to happen because he didn't adjust the straps. So thank goodness they told us he adjusted the straps, and he did in fact adjust the straps. Okay. The surgeon makes his first cut. Blood spills down Anna's leg. She's surrounded by medical equipment, stools, trolleys, swabs, syringes, with bright surgical lamps suspended above her head. Above the bed. Her vital signs are displayed on monitors just behind her. They're staring at her back. But Anna is oblivious. That's how they want us, oblivious. She's immersed in a three-dimensional recreation of Machu Picchu. She begins her journey with a breathtaking aerial view of the ancient city clinging to the mountainside before swooping down to explore the details of stepped terraces, moss-covered walls, and tiny stone huts. Maso watches her carefully, because he's a sicko. He's probably like into this. A 54-year-old surgeon at Pan American University in Mexico City. He's on a mission to bring virtual reality to the operating room. Sounds like he's already done it. Maso is using VR as a high-tech distraction technique, allowing surgeons to carry out operations that would normally require powerful painkillers and sedatives with nothing more than local anesthetic. He's trying to prove that reducing the drug doses in this way not only slashes costs, because he's a surgeon, get it? He's slashing things with his scalpel. Slashing costs for Mexico's cash-strapped hospitals, but cuts complications and recovery time for patients too. But with Anna, Maso is not sure if the headset will be enough. He hopes the virtual reality, who knows? He hopes, though, the virtual reality will help her avoid extra medication, but if she becomes anxious during the surgery, her already high vital signs might spike, because they're not spiked yet. They're going to spike. He has prepared an intravenous line just in case, ready to administer emergency medication if required. But it isn't. Yay! Happy ending. I love a happy ending. The surgeon pulls a large, pearly glob of tissue, aka the fatty lipoma, from her thigh. This is so weird. Why do they write it like this? This is so, I don't even want to read the rest of it. His fingers easing under her skin as he carefully snips it free. Then he mops the blood and stitches the wound. I wish I would have said sutured, because it's just such a fancier word. The procedure has taken just 20 minutes, and there are smiles all out of cheer. Oh, she said, I love Dr. Peach. It was wonderful. She was transported. She was transported, but not through a porthole. So, yes, it's very fun and exciting. I'm not going to read anymore. But there you go, VR instead of drugs. Sure, not a bad idea, but I guess it's everybody's story of where they get to go. And I can hardly even read through the first one. I've had enough. But the best story ever, if you're still here, is Puppy Cat. Cat dog. Hybrid. It's so cute, but messed up, right? Because it's a hybrid. So I don't know. I mean, it's pretty cute. Is this how we're going to launch us into accepting hybrids in our future and just be like, but it's so cute. Look at the puppy cat. It's like a cat dumping around and being cute. I guess that's not a video of... Why do they put videos that don't matter? Here, let's see. Asians. That's racist. Oh, puppy cat? Looks more like a puppy than anything. That's more like a puppy than anything. Well, there's acting like a cat. Doesn't even want anything to do with anybody. So, kind of cute. I don't know. That's all I got for you, though. Except for, you know, a spot on this raffle. It's good for you to own silver. So get your spot. It's only $10. Mail me a check or use Cash App. If you go to my community channel, and you're like, how do I go to the community channel? Well, you go to my channel. You go there, maybe. You have home, you have videos, you have playlists, and you have community. And you go, oh, community! And you click it. And then it takes a while sometimes, and you go, oh, this one's taken. I gotta close this out. That's for Jared. Closed! Thanks, Jared. You are the bomb. The bomb diggity. Why do I keep doing that? For Jared. Oh, I have such a struggle with capital letters. And then there's this one, and there's 5 spots left. So do yourself a favor, win some silver, be a part of this awesome group of people that already is doing what I am doing. So that's that. I don't even have anything else to say, except for I hope you have the full armor of God, and if you're not familiar with it, I'll go through it with you. First, the most important thing is to put on the belt of truth. You can then either put on the breastplate of righteousness or the shoes of the gospel of peace, whichever ones you prefer to put on next. If you want to go in order of the Bible, I don't remember which one comes next. Forgive me. Then you have the sword of the Spirit that is the Word of God. And you have the helmet of salvation. And you have the shield of faith. So that's it. Belt, breastplate, shoes, sword, helmet, shield. And you got it. You're covered. And you can pray protection as you go out into battle with the Lord Jesus at your side against these demonic forces and principalities and even the demons of the air. So, okay? Yeah? We good? Okay, go have a great day and be blessed and don't be racist.